On a wall inside the Temple of Seti I at Abydos, there's a list. 76 names, carved in perfect rows. Every king of Egypt, in order, stretching back to the beginning of recorded time. Tourists photograph it every single day. Most people walk right past it, but hidden inside it is something that shouldn't exist. A gap. The list jumps from Thutmose II directly to Thutmose III and skips over one of the most powerful rulers Egypt ever produced. A pharaoh who reigned for 22 years at the height of the empire, who built one of the greatest temples on the planet, who sent fleets to the edge of the known world, and then was deleted. Not forgotten. Deleted. Every statue smashed. Every cartouche chiseled off the walls. Every royal image cut out of stone with hammers and copper blades. It was one of the most successful cover-ups in human history, and it held for over 3,000 years. Her name was Hatshepsut. And the strangest part isn't that someone tried to erase her, it's when they did it. If you want investigations like this, 1. Subscribe now, because this case is still open, and the evidence gets stranger the deeper you go. Start in 1903, the Valley of the Kings. Howard Carter opens a small, undecorated tomb, cataloged as KV60. Inside, 2 female mummies. One rests in a coffin inscribed for a royal nurse named Sitra In. The other lies directly on the floor. No coffin, no name, left arm bent across her chest, a pose reserved, many argue, for royal women. Carter records it, closes the tomb, and moves on. It was sealed, it was mapped, and then it disappeared. The entrance was lost for most of a century, and the woman on the floor stayed exactly where she was. Unclaimed, unnamed, ignored. To understand why, you have to follow the destruction backward. Clue 1 is the king list itself. For decades, scholars dismissed the gap as simple abbreviation. Official lists trimmed names all the time. But that explanation has a problem. The Abydos list includes obscure, short-lived kings nobody would bother remembering. It wasn't a summary, it was a ritual document that fed the royal dead for eternity. Removing a name from it wasn't editing, it was execution in the afterlife. They weren't forgetting her, they were unmaking her. Clue 2 is in the chisel marks. Across Egypt, images of Hatshepsut as queen, as a king's wife, were left completely untouched. Only the images of Hatshepsut as pharaoh, wearing the crown and the false beard, were attacked. The mainstream story said her stepson, Thutmose III, destroyed them in a fit of revenge the moment she died. But in 1966, Egyptologist Charles Nims analyzed the datable evidence and found the erasures began around year 42 of Thutmose's reign, more than 20 years after her death. Rage doesn't wait 2 decades. Policy does. Clue 3 stands at Karnak. Hatshepsut raised a pair of granite obelisks there, one nearly 30 meters tall, roughly 300 tons of Aswan stone. Thutmose didn't topple it. He built a sandstone wall around its base and entombed it standing up, hiding her words without daring to break them. And her words survived. Carved into that granite, she wrote, "My heart turns this way and that, as I think what the people will say, those who see my monuments in the years to come." She saw it coming. Not a myth, not a metaphor. A ruler predicting her own erasure. Then, modern science found something that changed everything. In 2007, in Cairo, Dr. Zahi Hawass CT scanned a small wooden box from the DB320 Royal Cache, a box carrying Hatshepsut's cartouche, containing embalmed organs and a single molar tooth. Then his team scanned the forgotten mummy from the floor of KV60. Her upper right jaw was missing exactly 1 molar. The tooth from the box fit the empty socket to within a fraction of a millimeter. On June 27, 2007, the announcement came. The woman left on the floor for a century was Hatshepsut herself. DNA testing was attempted to confirm the royal bloodline. Those results were never fully published. The tooth evidence still carries the case, and the complete data remains debated to this day. Here's where it gets strange. In 2025, a study in the journal Antiquity re-examined the thousands of statue fragments Herbert Winlock excavated near her temple at Deir el-Bahri between 1922 and 1928. Pits so packed with broken images that diggers called one the Hatshepsut hole. Researcher Jun Yi Wong found many statues weren't defaced at all. They were broken cleanly at the neck, waist, and knees, the standard Egyptian method for ritually deactivating a dead ruler's statues, and some were simply reused as building material. Now, does this prove the most extreme version of the story? Probably not, but that doesn't make the discovery ordinary, because it means the destruction wasn't blind hatred. It was surgical. Her existence as a royal woman was allowed to survive. Her existence as a king was not. The most likely target wasn't Hatshepsut the person. It was the precedent. A female pharaoh had ruled well, and ruled long. Erasing that fact protected the succession of Thutmose's son and every male heir after him. It wasn't rage, it was a correction of the record, which is somehow worse. And it very nearly worked. For 3,000 years, her name was gone. If a Golden Age pharaoh with temples, fleets, obelisks, and 2 decades of absolute power can be cut out of history this cleanly, ask yourself what happened to rulers with smaller kingdoms and softer stone. How many names never came back? And if that's true, it means our history is missing a chapter, maybe more than one. Today, Hatshepsut lies in a glass case in Cairo, identified by a single tooth after 100 years on a tomb floor. Her obelisk still stands at Karnak, the wall that once hid it long since crumbled. And at Abydos, the king list is still on the wall. The gap is still there. 76 names, and the silence where hers should be. Most people still walk right past it. If this investigation pulled you in, hit like, subscribe, and watch the video on screen next. About a tomb in the Valley of the Kings that was sealed for a very different reason. The evidence is still down there, and someone made sure of it.